Hey legends, and a big warm welcome back to the Wealth Yogi channel. Seb Williams here with you today, and in this video we're going to be breaking down exactly how it is that you can go from zero, or maybe already in business, but you can go from zero to $10,000 a month. Yes, $10,000 a month on your social media. But before we dive into the good stuff, let's hit the show reel. So one of the key concepts that we really teach, that we embody, that we believe is important here in Wealth Yogi is financial abundance, is financial independence, what I would call financial security, right? And when people come to us and they're going through our different programs or they're watching our content online, whatever the case might be, a question that we always find people asking is, how can they establish this financial abundance, this security, this independence for themselves, especially through a tool like social media? You know, it's no secret that the world is moving more and more online, especially with the way things are going in the last couple of years. People are spending more time online than ever before, and people are looking for ways to work differently, to bring an income into their life that isn't, say, the typical 9 to 5. And social media is naturally a very attractive way to do that. But then the question becomes, well, what do I do? Like, how does that actually work? And obviously we do a lot of videos on this channel about different side hustles that you can start, about different businesses that you can start on, income generating activities, things that you can do to generate financial results in your life. But I want to break down in this video specifically what I believe to be a very straightforward and simple method. If you've watched some of our videos before, you'll be familiar with this concept of we keep things simple. And the reason that we do that is because simplicity scales. Complexity is not really what you want to be looking for, especially in the early days. When you've got a team and there's lots of different things and lots of different people involved, then you can start to add the layers. But if you're a one-person band when you're getting started and it's just you and your phone, and you're like, hey, how can I turn this thing here into a business, into an income stream? Then simplicity is what you're looking at. So in this video, I want to break down the roadmap for you of £10,000 or $10,000 a month from social media. And you might be surprised how easy this actually is. Now, I know in some videos we've talked about a few of these concepts before, but hopefully throughout what we share for you today, you'll be able to really lock these in, really embody these teachings that are a little bit deeper and actually go out there and implement, because maybe you've heard before that knowledge is power. Maybe you've watched different YouTube videos on this kind of thing before, but then you haven't got the result yet. And I just want you to ask yourself, honestly, just to sit with the question of, well, why is that? And there might be lots of different reasons, but normally what we see it comes down to, the biggest problem that we see is that it's a lack of implementation. People have this knowledge, they have this self-development, but it becomes shelf development, where it just sits on the shelf and it gathers dust because there's that lack of implementation. And maybe that's because of fear, of doubt, of questions that you've got, all these different things. And I'm not saying those things aren't justified, of course they are, but are they stopping you from moving forward? And that's a problem. So this is why another reason that we focus on what's simple, what's the next best, simplest step that I can take to get to where I want to be. Okay, so first things first, first thing you want to be looking for is what we call a high ticket offer. Okay, you want to be focusing on a high ticket offer, because if we're speaking about getting to $10,000 a month, it's actually not as far away as you might think if you break it down like this. So a high ticket offer, let's say, and high ticket, if you're not familiar with this language, is simply just referring to the value of something, the price of something, the cost, right? So let's say $1,000. Let's say you're selling something for $1,000, and we'll talk more about in a moment and what you can sell, because some of you might be thinking, Seb, well, I wish I could sell something for $1,000, but what do I have that I could sell for this? We'll get to that, okay? But first of all, let's just do the maths, right? Say you're selling something high ticket for $1,000 or more. You only need 10 sales. I was never good at maths, by the way, but when it comes to money, something just kicks in, and when it's this kind of simple math, we can do, right? Again, keeping things simple, right? So $1,000, 10 sales a month, you're at 10,000, boom, done, big tick, lovely, super simple, right? That means you don't even need to make one sale a day. That's one sale every 3 days, and you're gonna reach your income goals. Let's just actually mark that down there. 1 sale each 3 days, right? That's unbelievable. That's very achievable. Hopefully, like, I know sometimes people think when they're looking at starting on social media, they think they're gonna be glued to their phone all the time. And obviously you're gonna need to put the work in to make a sale every 3 days. But that's so simple, that's so achievable. It's not even 1 a day. You can see how, hopefully you can start to see how achievable this actually is. If we compare that for a moment to, say, a low ticket offer, just for comparison's sake, and let's say that was $100, you would now need 100, I think, to reach your target, right? Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. You get the idea, right? Suddenly, it's a lot more work. How many is that? That's not 1 every 3 days, is it? What's that divided by 30? That's three a day? 3 a day, I think. I'm sure you guys in the comments can let me know if my maths isn't very good. I give you that disclaimer. When it comes to making money, when it comes to maths, I like to keep it simple, right? But hopefully you can see here, just due to the volume of sales that you need, that's worlds apart already. It's absolutely worlds apart. And I know some people will be looking at this going, well, that sounds really good, Seb. But again, like we've touched on, what is it that I can offer to reach to reach my $10,000 a month? What is it that I can sell that is for $1,000? And I want to ask you this question. What are you watching this video on right now? Are you watching it on your phone, maybe your iPhone or your Android phone? Are you watching it on your computer? Are you watching it on your tablet? And how much did that device, the phone, that computer, that tablet, how much did that cost? Probably quite a few hundred, if not $1,000, right? I know my MacBook was $1,400. I watch YouTube on that all the time, right? So the reason that I'm highlighting this is because ask yourself, do people spend this kind of money? Yeah, absolutely they do. And do they spend this kind of money online? Yeah, absolutely they do, right? I know that I bought my MacBook, I bought my phone, I bought all my camera equipment, everything. I bought it all online, and it was all high ticket stuff, right? So people are out there buying this. The question you want to be asking yourself is, what problem am I solving? What problem am I solving for people? If you can get clarity on that one simple thing, what problem am I solving for people? Suddenly, the money's not really so much of an objection anymore. I know that if I want a good computer, I'm an Apple fanboy, so you guys are probably fed up with hearing me say this. But if I want a good computer that's going to do the work that I want it to do, that I'm familiar with how to use, that's going to last me a long time, I know what problem it's solving for me. And I work on my laptop, you know, like a digital nomad, living the freedom lifestyle. I want it to be portable, I want it to have long battery life, I want it to be well built, durable, all of these things, right? This solves a big problem for me, right, that I would have without that computer. So am I willing to pay $1,300, $1,400 for it? Yes, absolutely, right? So we know if we can fix something for people, if we can solve a problem for people and it's valuable enough to them, they will pay for it, okay? So this is really, really key. Like, people always think, oh, it's some complicated process to go through to think, well, how do I transition from low ticket to high ticket? But it's actually just the bigger the problem you solve, the more valuable that is to somebody, the more they will be willing to exchange with you financially for the results. And something that's worth mentioning here as well is that low ticket versus high ticket, it takes the same amount of effort to make a sale. Whether you're doing that, maybe you're getting people on the phone, maybe you're building your landing pages or your Shopify stores and you're going through this process and you're bringing somebody through a sales process. However you're doing it, it takes the same amount of effort, the same amount of time to sell somebody on a low ticket product as it does to sell them on a high ticket product. And what I found over many years of doing and trying both of these things, and both do work. This is important to remember, that everything ultimately does work. But what I found is that high ticket clients, high ticket customers, they're much more easier to work with. They're much more fun to work with because they're more invested, because they're paying more, they will pay more attention to the process. Whereas when you deal with low ticket, that tends to be when a lot of questions come up. And that's not a bad thing. But if you're thinking about having your freedom lifestyle, if you're thinking about having your time for yourself, to be able to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, do you want to be spending a lot of time closing a low ticket product to then have to deal with a lot of follow-up because they've got a lot of questions? Or do you want somebody who knows exactly what they want, they're clear on it, and they're just going to get it done? This tends to be the difference between a low ticket and a high ticket client. So again, these are the things that we think about when we're leaning into, well, what is the strategy to reach this goal? We want it to be as easy as we've touched on. We want it to be as simple as possible. So again, these are all the reasons that we lean into high ticket offers. But then the question becomes, well, two things. Well, what am I actually going to sell? Okay, I get that I need to solve a problem. What am I actually going to sell? And how is it that I actually make the sale? So let's talk about those two things quickly. So what am I actually going to sell? First thing that I would recommend is that you lean into affiliate marketing. If you don't already have your own product or service, if you don't already have something that you think you can offer and put out there into the world for $1,000 or more per sale, then lean into affiliate marketing. This is where you are a commission-based salesperson for somebody else's product. So I don't think Apple have an affiliate program. If they do, I probably miss out on thousands of dollars of commissions. But you could go to Apple as an example and say, hey, let me sell your thing. And then they will let you sell their thing. You bring them customers, you close the deal, and they'll give you a commission for every single customer that you bring them. It's a no-brainer for them. They're going to get more revenue, they're going to get more customers, and they don't have to do the sale. Like, of course they're going to pay you for that, right? We have a lot of different affiliate programs that we work with, whether it's ClickFunnels, whether it's Shopify. You can build up softwares now. You might be thinking they sound low ticket, but I tell you what, over the course of a lifetime of a customer, they certainly add up, okay? So whatever you're interested in, whatever your passions are, whatever you find that you could just talk about for days, obviously you guys get the idea that I could talk about marketing, sales, I could talk about Apple for days, right? These are things that I just enjoy. It's very natural for me to talk about these things with passion, with enthusiasm, with honesty, because I use these things. I'm playing this game. This is just my daily normal life, right? So whatever that is for you, whether maybe that's music, whether that's gardening, whether that's something spiritual, I don't know, whatever it is. Find that niche, find that thing that you're passionate about, and then think what stores do you go to? What places do you buy from? Go to their website. I guarantee 9 times out of 10 they're going to have an affiliate program. And if they don't, if you email them and say, hey, would you be willing, if I sold your stuff, could I get a commission? Who's going to turn that down? It's a no-brainer question, isn't it? So affiliate marketing really is one of the first things that I would recommend for most people to lean into, just because of the ease of it. However, if you've got your own coaching program, then coaching is such a great way to reach this. If you did 6-7 week coaching program, and this is what I did when I got started, I had a 6-week coaching program, and I charged $1,200, and I would teach people marketing and sales and help them set up their funnel. So I know how valuable that is for them, because if I can teach them how to close one client, it's already paid for itself. So maybe you're a fitness coach, maybe you're a yoga teacher, maybe whatever it is. If you can package something up and teach it to people, they'll be willing to pay you for that premium one-on-one access. So these are the two models that we recommend leaning into. Obviously, there's lots of other things you can do as well. But if we're looking for speed, if we're looking for ease, these are the ways that we would recommend that you do it. Now from there, how do you make the sale, right? How is it that you make the sale? Well, there's two main ways. We've got funnels, and we've talked a lot about funnels on this channel, so there's lots of videos on that. But the other way would be maybe an e-commerce store, e-commerce. So it depends what you're selling, but if you're selling actual physical products for people and you can source them yourself from a supplier and you can put them on your own Shopify store, then brilliant, that's even better. If you're doing something more service-based, then you want to be looking at funnels where you can capture a lead. You can maybe guide them through an interview process where they fill out their details. If we use the yoga instructor example, hey, you're going to be a yoga teacher, you want to teach people through this process. Think specifically, what kind of problem are you solving? As a yoga teacher, are you helping, say, new mums? Are you helping people with back pain or with bad hips? The more specific you can get on the problem you're solving, in whichever area you're working, hopefully you can see how that will be a more targeted message. You'll get a better response. But then you can bring people through an application process, qualify them, and close them. And we use funnels to do that. We do interview, call and close process all the time, and it works very, very well. You actually get to build a real relationship with people. Figure out the problem that they have, make sure they're the right fit for you, and if they are, you can make them that offer. And provided that you've identified the problem well enough, you'll be able to close that client and help them, but obviously help yourself at the same time by making that income. So these are the ways that we break it down. This is what we think about. I can't stress enough how simple this is. 10 sales a month and you're there. That's just a couple of sales a week, easy peasy. when you break it down like this. So hopefully you can see how we reverse engineer everything. We always start with the end process in mind and then work backwards and say what's the best way of us actually getting to there. When you have that destination in mind, figuring out the steps to get there, it becomes a lot easier. It's like jumping in the car and not having the sat nav in, right? You're going somewhere new, but you don't know where you're going. You're just going to drive around in circles, right? You need to have that end destination in mind, and then what happens when we do put it in the sat nav? The path appears, and we might not know the whole way, but we do know the next step. So these are the ways that we think about it. This is what we teach our clients, obviously more in depth when we go through any of our programs with our students, but hopefully you now can see how achievable it is, how easy it is actually to reach something like £10,000 a month. $10,000. People always think it's far away, it's this far away place. But if you think that, you're thinking lack mindset, you're pushing it away. But if you think 10 sales a month, that's just 1 or 2 a week, a couple a week. It brings it closer. These are really important things of how we break things down. I hope you found this valuable. If you did, leave a comment below. Maybe just drop a 10K below so that we know you made it to this point in the video, and let us know which way you're going to go about this. Are you going to go, no, Seb, I'm going to go low ticket and I'm going to get the volume of sales in and I'm going to set up my e-commerce store and absolutely crush it, or I'm going to set up my coaching program, I'm going to get 10 clients a month, it's going to be amazing. Let us know which way you're going to go. And the reason for that is because then we can make more content specified to what it is that you're working on right now so that we can help you achieve these goals and so much more. And to wrap up, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, if you're new here, then do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well if you did enjoy this video, if you found any value in this whatsoever. And don't forget that little notification bell next to it, because that means that then you'll be notified of every video that we're putting out on this channel to help you claim that freedom lifestyle, to embody that inner wealth yogi or yogini. So until the next video, my friends, thank you so much and stay blessed.